Hey everybody, welcome to the video. Welcome to the channel. The sun is very bright this morning, but that's a good thing. We're up at Dirt Perfects. We're gonna grab the GMC C8500, but we're not running for Mike today. We're actually headed up to the house to tie up a few loose ends on the pond project with our neighbor Gary, and to help things out, we're gonna try out a new little tool, I guess you would call it, that Dirt Perfect picked up. Pretty excited about that. What do you say, Pop? What do you say? She's excited too. We're all excited. First things first, though, we gotta get those sideboards replaced because we're gonna use the truck to move some riprap up to the pond. And he's got some new 2x12 sitting there. So let's get that knocked out real quick. That came out pretty easy. Well, that came out pretty easy. Yeah, swinging a mitt, bud. There we go. If you're wondering why we're replacing this one, it was also broken. Okay. There you have it, new sideboards. I think that'll work fine for the time being. At least till next time we break them anyway. We'll throw a strap across this stuff. We've got to see if we can get the 855 on this trailer. That's the fun thing when you get a new trailer is trying to figure out what equipment you can and can't get on. We'll figure it out here in just a second, won't we? He said this old girl's had some battery issues. We'll see if we can get her. Well, it was a good try. It was a good try, wasn't it, Pup? It was a good try. All right, we are chained down and strapped down and ready to head down to the lot so we can ditch all of that scrap metal, dump the truck, get the loader, and start putting some riprap in this thing. Oh, that's the brake, not the clutch. My bad. There we go. All right, so I actually got everything unchained and unstrapped while I was over there topping off with some diesel fuel, trying to make the most out of my time at the pump. Anywho, see if we can get this thing off of here. That situation right there is going to be our biggest problem, but we'll see if we can get her to work, bud. Awesome, just awesome. Next thing, we'll get that loader, we'll switch to the bucket. We're gonna get this stuff off the trailer, get the trailer unhooked. You guys know what we're doing. All right, let's see if she wants to start this morning. This loader's a little older, but she never really gives us many fits, so hopefully we'll be all right here. Good old machine, all right. Guess we'll just leave the forks there. Oh yeah? Oh yeah. Okay. Embarrassing. It's a little easier. It's a little easier if I just pull forward first. This is where he kind of keeps his scrap metal. We're gonna dump it right around in here, and then we'll use the loader to push it in the rest of the way. We don't like backing across this stuff. We don't want to get anything in those truck tires, obviously. Going for load number 2. Yep. Where are you at? Right there. All right, so that is it for that. There's still a little bit left down here. I was starting to get his millions, but I need a little bit for a separate project anyway, so that's just gonna hang out. It's like a savings account, a rip-rap savings account. Low interest rates, but value stays pretty stable. Okay. So I just pulled up with the second load, but I think I'm gonna go ahead and get that first load pushed off and out of the way. You can see what my steer tires did on the first trip. If you're wondering why we didn't just have the triaxle stone delivered here, well, I think this kind of explains the situation. We just had it delivered down to Mike's lot, which is like 2 miles from here, maybe, and then loaded it into 2 loads to bring up here. And I think that worked well because I was able to get down and back right down to that culvert. Ideally, I would have a track hoe up here and take the riprap, grab it and place it where I want it and kind of tamp it into place. But this is like always, like it always is for us. It's a run what you brung kind of day. And what we have is that little dozer. So I know I'm gonna tear the road up just a little bit. The biggest thing, as long as I don't tear that culvert up. And we're just gonna take that dozer and just kind of shove this stuff off the best we can. There's gonna be a lot of hand placing, obviously, but that's fine. As long as we get it done, and as long as we get it set up for winter so it can make it through the winter and hold fine, that's all that matters. Let's see if this feller starts today. The master was off, so that is always a good sign. Of course, we're covered in leaves because it's that time of year. There we go. All right. Parking brake on, which is always good. Oh, I'm excited about this. Okay. All right. There's the end of the culvert right there, so I may try to take a little bit more on that side, and then honestly I'll probably just hand place everything on that side. I don't have enough room between that tree and that culvert to get in there, I don't think. We'll see what happens here. I think that riprap will be good enough for what we're wanting to do, which is prevent erosion. It's definitely thick in there. We'll take a little closer look at it here in just a second, but now let's head down and get Dirt Perfect's new straw blower and see if the thing works. I'm excited. Whoops. There goes Dirt Perfect. He just saved the day. He just stopped by to see how the straw blowing was going. We haven't got quite to that point yet, but all my batteries are dead and I left my GoPro batteries down in the dump truck. So he happened to have an extra battery and it's fully charged, which means we get to see how this goes. Gary went down to get a bolt for that PTO, and then we're gonna get that all fixed up. See if we can get this thing working. I think, we don't know. Mike and I were just talking about it. We're not 100% sure. We've never had a straw blower before, or he's never had a straw blower before. It's a PTO mount. PTO mount and stuff's up there, but the guy that had it put it on this trailer so he can put straw and stuff on there. But it's got all the blades in there. See all the blades down in there, and then it's got this belt that runs around here, and I think this tub is supposed to rotate, and it cuts about 1/3 of the bale at a time as it spins around, and then hopefully blows it out that pipe. Here comes Gary. We'll see if we found anything. We've been doing a little bit of problem solving, and we think maybe there's something stuck in the blower of this. It comes off the PTO here, you guys see that, and it has a couple different pulleys. Anyway, so this one runs this one, and that shaft runs all the way through and runs the blower and runs the cutting teeth inside. And we can't find anything blocking the cutting teeth, so we think maybe something got clogged up in the blower. It did work really well for like a second. Maybe 2 seconds, like 2 seconds. It worked really well.
So I feel like it's worth mentioning real quick. Obviously, the tractor is off, the PTO switch is disengaged, and the PTO shaft itself is disconnected from the tractor, which I highly recommend doing if you go shove your arm down in something that has a bunch of sharp spinning knives. Still, though, a little bit of an uneasy feeling sticking your arm down inside this blower.
Sorry about that. Sounds like it went though. I mean, there's nothing in there anymore.
No, I don't.
Well, I just wonder if whatever. I mean, it's pretty tight clearance on this little impeller thing. We might have pulled a rock out in one of those handfuls of straw, not knowing it, you know. I was wondering if maybe something got clogged in the back and then it just got backed up. I don't really know how to check that. I will do the other. Can you hear me? Is it
I can hear you.
There we go. That's the official test. I like that. Man.
Start it up again.
All right, watch your hands there.
I want to see if that impeller's turning. Let's take it off again. We know how to do it.
We do know how to do it.
It's got to be something in there.
It's got to be something in here. Because it blew a little bit, and it's getting snagged somewhere, and it's backing up. It has to be.
Yeah, but it's stopping the impeller.
Well, no, it's like I'm thinking it's backing up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I guess there wasn't anything in here when we took it off last time.
Let's take it off again.
So we ended up taking that off again, and we found this piece of wire. It was stuck, wedged up there at the top. So we think this was catching the straw and it's putting back pressure on the impeller, and that's why it wasn't blowing. But the only way to find out, get it put back together and try again. We're getting good at taking this thing apart. Yeah? You guys like it?
Yeah, it's amazing.
Everybody's covered in mud.
She loves it. We're all covered in mud. What do you think, pup? What do you think?
I think it's doing really good.
What you got there?
A chicken.
We're ready to go swimming next weekend?
Yeah, we'll go swimming next weekend. Seeded, strawed. We did the straw netting and rolls across the top to give that top some extra protection. So you can see in here behind me that it is raining. So we got rained out at Dirt Perfects today, and I thought I'm gonna go inside and get some videos edited. And that's when I learned that the camera died on that clip and didn't finish it off. So in the rain, we're gonna come out and finish this video off for you guys. Pick up where we left off. We got the rolls of straw all the way around that steep bank over there. Of course, across the top of the dam for lots of protection. And then there were some areas that we blew the straw, some areas we did some hand spreading. 150 pounds total of seed. 100 pounds of that is perennial, and 50 pounds of that is annual rye. And then you can see we got the riprap done over there where that culvert comes out. The reason, oh, you guys got a raindrop on you. There you go. And the reason I did the riprap all the way down to the bottom, obviously that is going to get filled up with water and won't erode as bad once the water's up there, but until that time being, I want to make sure there's plenty of protection. Also, that pipe does flow really hard when we get very heavy torrential rains, and I want to prevent that from undercutting or undermining underneath that road. We all know somewhere back in that hill there's a rock shelf, and if I don't protect where that pipe comes out, eventually over time it'll undermine itself and find that rock shelf, and then this thing will just open up and disappear probably one day. Did have a few questions about the spillway and overflow pipe. So this spot right here, this is virgin ground where that spillway comes across. The hill came out like this, the dam came across, Jerry cut into that and cut the spillway across right there. That's why we put the spillway there, because that way it's across good virgin ground. Obviously it'll still erode, but not as fast as what fill on the dam is. As far as overflow goes, we're just gonna kind of monitor this and see how it goes. We might put one in, we might just concrete that spillway. I guess the short question or short answer to that is we're aware of it. We know it needs to exist. We're just kind of observing and just see what we need to do. We've talked about it before. You can have all the plans you want, but in my honest opinion, the best thing to do is have a starting point and just see where it goes from there. And that's exactly what we're gonna do, but we are gonna keep a close eye on it. Like I said, look at it raining. Bad thing for progress for Dirt Perfect, but great thing for us on the pond. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. By the way, check this out, sporting my sock cap up here, the B. This is for Blessy Marine. Jeff White from Time Lapse Towboater has a YouTube channel, sent me this. He is a pilot for Blessy Marine. If you guys remember, I had a towboat channel. I guess I still do, but I haven't been uploading since I lost the drone or let a tree borrow the drone for a while. Anyway, if you're missing those towboat shots or towboat videos, be sure to check out Time Lapse Towboater. That's all I got for this one, guys. Lots of updates on YouTube Yacht Project coming up in the next video. As always, thanks for watching. I truly mean that. We'll catch you on the next one.